throat collapsed by a forgotten beast foot. It's a glorious discussion, after all. Well, they are heading where they need to head. The chief medical dwarf has created Amaval, an obsidian mechanism. That must be what dwarves shout when they lock the doors, and claims it as a family heirloom. Well, I realize you claimed it as a family heirloom, but I don't think you understand how these heirlooms work, so I'm just gonna respectfully place your family heirloom in the middle of the tavern, because it's untoppable, meaning I now have a very central untoppable lever. I see no negative with that. Speaking of no negative, I've got some livestock that need to be pastured, so I'm going to pasture them right here. But how you doing, Anander? I hope your day has been well. So they can't enter the fortress here. But they can slowly make their way towards the tower, I would think. Unless they're just leaving. There are a bunch of wild animals on the surface, so they may be going for those as well. Yeah, they may just be going for the gazelles. Well, the underground area is currently locked, so the dwarves are having an opportunity to, put their stuff away and whatnot, so I'm gonna chuck some of these around. Let's also hack down a few more trees. Start putting some stuff away. I think everyone's going well. Chat, how's your Tuesday going? And Ander would love to know. You just started playing again. You got lucky and found a crystal opal on your Embark site. Oh, that's cool. Any plans for that crystal opal? Sorry, what? Well, we just learned that, this thing is a building destroyer. So that's terrifying. Meaning it can destroy buildings. Let's scroll through and see exactly what we're up against here. I may be able to just fight them. Because that's a building destroyer, I don't actually want that getting in there. I mean, if the zombies decide to head in there, that's one thing. But I don't actually want a building destroyer getting in there. It's a mega beast made by a necromancer. Yes, that's what necromancer experiments can be. I've had, like, building destroyer mega beasts before anyway, so that's not entirely surprising. So I guess what I need to do is what we did before, which is cage trap maybe another round. And then once we're done with cage trapping another round, just fight them. That's what we're going to have to do. I'm going to set the militia to train. Once again. Have you really... like, you play so much of this game, Vuckrock? I am shocked that this is stuff you don't know about. Like, genuinely, I'm kind of shocked. Like, I'm amazed you've never seen this stuff before. Got a bunch of loading cage trap jobs running. Like that in your forts? Really? They're quite common. I think it's just very easy to, like, if you know what you're doing, it's easy to just, like, exterminate the necromancer towers before they even become a threat. But you're the one always getting really excited about necromancer experiments while it's playing adventure mode, so... That's why I'm surprised. Usually get intelligent undead rating you? Sounds like you just need to generate cooler worlds, mate. What, in regards to building destroyers? Blazing Iceberg? Yeah, fair enough. Makes sense. You know what? They seem pretty split up. I'm gonna station the military up here. Come on, dwarves. Get up here. Yeah, I've had necromancer experiments that are basically forgotten beasts before. I've had them with deadly dust. I've seen them shoot fire. I've seen them with webs. I think that they're less common, but... They're fighting with a monitor lizard. Where are they headed? Okay. Here comes my very underprepared military. Wish them luck, chat. I need a round of beers for good luck for these dwarves. Freeways, who doesn't have full control of his hands, comes around the corner. The first zombie here is simply a corpse. And Tubal, the chief medical dwarf, who is an expert armor user, collides with the creature, stabs the hammerman corpse in the upper arm with his silver spear. Does a decent amount of damage with that. We're going to move them around the corner a little bit more. Both Tubal and Foxrot have dodged backwards and are now charging through, although Foxrot here appears to be dying pretty horribly and is in some pretty hefty pain. Freeways is still alive and well, and so is Tubal. But the first few zombies are now unexisted. The dwarves are now charging forwards. Foxrot, while vomiting, isn't dead. That initial collection, they got stabbed with a pike, stabbed in the lower body, which is what caused them to start vomiting. Dwarves are charging through towards the Mark's dwarf, or Mark's human, who immediately dies due to being in close range. We got a human corpse, a human corpse, a human corpse, and a human lasher corpse. Dwarves are now coming around the corner for the next Marksuman. We'll go with it. And is moving on to the next. Freeways is leading the charge and was attacked by the dead. This is truly horrifying. Truly, but you're doing quite a fine job here, dwarf. Quite a fine job. Although now is bleeding heavily. If you survive this fight, dwarf, I will do my best to give you a healing potion. Freeways appears to have lost the ability to grasp entirely and is currently kicking the zombie. Foxrot here is now vomiting once again and has lost part of the ability to grasp, but they have been successful. All of the zombies that were in the tunnel are no longer in the tunnel, and I'm sending them back underground, and Foxrot is running swiftly, following Freeways and the chief medical dwarf. Mark's corpse, yeah. It's like the Mark's core. Okay. They did, in fact, do it. Partially. We haven't succeeded yet. They're also injured now, so if we get attacked by a Forgotten Beast, we're in trouble. So let's check this. And see where these load cage jobs end up being. Okay, so for you right here, I need to update my hospital. Thankfully, I have quite a few dwarves now that have some sort of doctoring skill. Like I have a surgeon who's not terrible, which is good. I guess that's Bim. What else do we have? I do have 2 bone doctors and they're both in my military. So F's for that, I suppose. Snail, congratulations. You're now a bone doctor. For doctors, well, Dr. Meng. Okay, you can have it. And for diagnoser, which is very important, Gerb, I'm gonna give it to this mason. Dwarves are like sentient rocks, right? Here's hoping we can get those dealt with quickly. Also going to go down here and unforbid these. And I need a place to dump bodies, which currently I don't have at all, which is not great. This goes down to a lower cavern layer. I'll be honest with you, it looks like a really nice cavern layer. But also, I need to get rid of bodies, and I feel like maybe throwing them in there is a bad idea. But I kind of want to. I really should just make a drawbridge setup. Really should. I'm just going to go right here and just make a little underground area. And I think we'll just make a drawbridge setup for right now. Darren, thanks for the 37th month. Welcome back, dude. Appreciate you. Appreciate you greatly. Man, the undead on the surface agree with me on something. KV boars need to die. They're fighting with guinea pigs on the surface. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is studded with bismuth and encircled with bands of round obsidian cabochons, and this object is adorned with hanging rings of rock salt and menaces with spikes of dolomite. Oh my god. Okay, well. Fortunately, I have a few more cage traps. Not many, but a few. I may also start trying to just see if I can dump the... Are you guys all resting still? Yeah, they're all still resting. I really, really, really want to just tell them to go kill this thing, but I can't. But I do need to close this. Okay, well, the door is now shut. So let's heal up these dwarves and get this sorted. We'll also build this, which is going to be a corpse stockpile. And it's going to have a little 2Z level down area thingy here. And this right here can actually be pushed up. They're going to dig down into here. And they dig out this. And their way back up there. Oh, I certainly find ASCII easier to parse for certain things. I'd say in many ways, ASCII is easier to parse. But most specifically, when it comes to, well, up until recently, whether or not things are lying down, but I find it easier to parse who's depressed when something just flickers back and forth. I also find it easier to parse what they're carrying in ASCII because they become the item that they're carrying. So there is some things I find clearer in ASCII, but most things are easier for the audience. And for me, it's the audience that matters, right? But it is not even a undisputed. It's not even trying to think of the wording. It is as far as I'm concerned, just a plain old fact that certain things are way easier to parse. With the ASCII stuff turned on. That's just a fact. Also, let's additionally build a little downy here. Get rid of these steps. I'm going to fill at least 2 of the levels up with walls. And then the drop-down spot's going to be right there. Use ASCII to skip animations in adventure mode. I kind of wish you could disable them, like as a quick play option. If that isn't a feature request, people should make it one. Unforbid that, unforbid that, and unforbid that. And this will just get a drawbridge over here. Such as when you're training your skills. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I wonder. I don't know if that's possible. Like, those are the sort of things that you'd have to ask the developers about, Melonius, but I don't disagree. I think that, like, some combination of the 2 elements would probably be best, but it is very much an all or nothing thing right now. I wonder if it's possible with, like, custom tile sets, you know? Like, make a custom tile set for ASCII that's just the default tile set. We're in an ad break, but I'm just going to let them finish building this drawbridge. But yeah, I will say this again, just because I haven't said it today, but chat, thanks for tuning in and watching the stream today. I mean, it's nice to have people who tune in and watch, and I get to do this job because people watch. So if you didn't tune in and show up and subscribe to the channel and hang out and say hello and chat and you know, all of the things that you're doing, I wouldn't have this job. So thank you very much for helping me have this job. It means a lot. It really does. So high fives to you and thank you for your support. That's all I really got. I don't know. And then this right here is just going to be a stockpile. Loud-ass motorcycle. Rude. Yeah, I wonder what that would be like to, you know, have like a partial graphical implementation. I'm sure that's the sort of thing that modders would be able to do eventually, but we're just not there yet. Hope that you guys are finding this fort interesting. Because I'll be honest with you, towards the end of the last fort, it was just monotonous and not particularly fun for me to play. So I hope that you guys are enjoying this one, because I've been enjoying this one. Okay, so I'm going to... think place a lever over here. Certainly exciting. I'm glad. What games have you guys been playing? I know like Monster Hunter just came out, which is certainly the obsession of some people that I know. Fighting with carps and gazelles. Cool. Are we running out of stuff to brew? No, I see. They're just not currently permitted. Makes sense. How come you didn't? Oh, you did. Okay. Return to Slay the Spire. You remember you loved the deck building, though you didn't like the RNG. You know, I'm very torn on a lot of deck builders because like there's games like Fights in Tight Spaces? Tights in Fight Spaces. Yes, that's definitely the name of that game. Fights in Tight Spaces that I look at and I go, that looks really interesting, like a neat tactics game. I just don't want to deal with the deck building randomness part of it. Like, I don't know, there's a very fine line between like tactics games and deck builder, and I do definitely like tactics games, so I've been kind of torn on some games when it comes to deck builders, because it's a pretty widely known thing about me that I'm not a big fan of. JRPG combat is actually a better way to put it, but that also encompasses deck builders. And because of that, I find it quite hard to want to play those games because they often just end up encompassing too many mechanics I don't like and not enough that I do. Old school RuneScape Iron Man. That's a trend that fascinates me. It's just like, yo, we took a MMO that people used to play a lot, that people don't play as much of, and we made it harder. And then put a scoreboard on it. Now go prove that you're good at the game. Back with chili? Ooh. What's in that chili? Could go for some chili. I made chili a couple weeks ago and it was delish. All right. Well, now we have a trash disposal. I'm also going to go to standing orders, chores, and just say, I will let children do chores, but their options are going to be minimal. Okay. Do we not have a water resource? Water source. Yeah, it looks like we don't. Ground chicken, white beans, peppers, tomatoes. Ooh, tasty. Enjoy. It's more about escaping trading and weird MMO parts for you. Very relaxing and slow. I mean, to me, in a way, like when MMOs first came out, they were not even remotely approachable. They were a very like prohibitively difficult subgenre of games. Like when you go back to like the old school MMOs, like the Ultima Onlines of the world, or I mean, Ultima Online actually is more in common with something like Rust, where it's more just an open sandbox. But even stuff like, you know, that first Final Fantasy MMO or like EverQuest, those games were prohibitively difficult and not even remotely approachable to a unseasoned audience. And I think that directly kind of leads to, for lack of a better term, people being less... When a game is approachable and not punishing with death, more people tend to take big risks. And this is kind of like the inverse of that, where it's like, let's punish you very heavily with death. It's weird to me that there isn't like a middle ground there again, where like, yeah, dying in the MMO, bad, you don't want that to happen, and you lose a lot. But maybe they made these games too easy. What do I know? Certainly nothing is what I know. Looks like they're singing a song. Maybe not. They thought about it. And then they didn't. Oh, now they are. Hey, chat. You know what to do, right? Yeah, it's the worst typo. Blazing iceberg. The punishment aspect helped kill an MMORTS you used to play. MMORTS? What was it called? It basically was SimCity, but you could go to war with other players, but nobody ever really did because the universe automatically expanded when the player base did. Oh. So there wasn't enough reasons to go to war? That's kind of funny. Okay, so I need a clothing industry. I'm just gonna queue up some trousers. Silk cloaks. And silk shirts. Let's just do 20 of each. Feel you can never escape the lure of death should be permanent because that makes it real no matter how much it doesn't hold up in the actual gameplay. No, totally. I mean, I don't disagree. You know what? I'll tell you this. I'm really, really happy that a lot of the MMOs that have like seasonal Iron Man things, most of them, although I think World of Warcraft didn't do this, most of them don't call them roguelikes. That makes me happy. So shout outs to the MMOs that don't call it the roguelike mode. Because that's what it is. It's Iron Man, goddammit. I've played an XCOM. I know what this is. Let's just make some meals. Doesn't matter if I use my booze. But we need some meals. Actually, let's just remove booze from cooking. And actually allow most of the seeds. Because I know I'm not going to be planting alfalfa anytime soon. Pigtail seeds, on the other hand, those I need. Cave wheat, those I need. We'll let them cook. Well, yeah, we'll let them cook plump helmets. We got tons. And then let's go to drinks. Please don't do that. Just don't. Just don't. Okay. Curious about what we'll collect for foods. Forgotten Beast Intestine. Nice. What else we getting? Forgotten Beast Brain. Also nice. Does anybody remember that it was like an end game way to play through the original Dead Space? But you had exceptionally limited checkpointing? They're fighting with fish. Oh, that's actually kind of funny. Okay, so I think what I need is I need to kill things. I need to empty these cages because my cages are just too damn full. Is that a dwarf corpse or is that a cat? I realize that's like maybe a silly thing to ask, but did I forget to bury somebody's body? Is what I'm now worried about. I'm just gonna quickly squibble together an extra tomb and check. We have some training targets. I was kind of thinking that, yeah. Because I don't want to just keep infinitely making cages. Oh, also got to make some more rock coffins. Oh, these are rock salt, not dolomite. I do have a manager who's currently brewing a drink. Why? 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 Why must you do this? Well, I'm just going to get you to do the manager job, presuming you do in fact have a meager study. What if I just give you this one? Well, actually, can you even access your meager study? Okay. Okay, where is your study? You got that one. Oh, right. I was going to make this into your study and then, right, yeah, I forgot to put a chair and table in it. I recall now. Duh. Smart moment performed by yours truly. Midnight X, thanks for the 4th month. Welcome back. See Great Beast? I've literally never seen that. What? That's a real rare one? Bet they love nature or something? Huh. That's wild. See a great beast. I wonder if that means like a forgotten beast. Because damn. Send them to a lair? Oh, true, yeah. Yeah, it certainly sounds like an adventure mode goal. More than anything. What you consuming, bud? Plum helmet roast? Not very valuable. Well, manager, do you want to go do the manager job? Maybe? Sure as heck don't seem that way. Let's also make silk socks. There you go. Give him a new work order so that he go queue up the old work orders. And there we go. We got work orders now. Excellent. Okay, so you hear dwarves. I'm going to fly down from up here down to where these dwarves are. And I'm going to make a pen pasture. Well, actually, I'm just going to station this squad right here. And I'm going to make a pen pasture right here. And we're just going to start assigning critters to it. I'm sure this will be fine, right? I'm sure this will be totally fine, right? Nothing could possibly go wrong if I start doing this, right? Man, this poor dwarf. This dwarf just wants to practice a craft, man. Just wants to go make some socks. They may also not even be able to get up here. Oh, I see the problem. Not everybody's permitted up here. It always kind of irks me that doctors never end up getting to do other tasks. Like, they always just stand around. Let's throw some other things into here. There we go. It begins. It's getting hard to remember. Usually the only way to do that, like without going nuts midnight, is just to schedule it on like a seasonal basis. It's usually how I try to do it anyway. Oh shit, this is an intelligent undead. This may have been a huge mistake. Which means they're either going to kill it or they're all going to die horribly, which... Okay, well, it's got no ability to stand anymore. Its ability to grasp is somewhat impaired, and they were able to kill it. This will be really good training for my military, but not so good in other aspects. There was also a second one there. Uh-oh. This hammerman is fighting with a water buffalo up here. Which, hold on. Freeways here is doing a decentish job knocking them out, sending them back down, and is now officially stressed, which I'm not even remotely surprised by, but hey. At least they're dead. I'm just going to remove this necromancer from here because, like, it would now just be able to resurrect these. Let's just bring some random corpses over. Hazards are real? You know, it's part of the gig, you know. Uh-oh. Seems that Freeways here is bleeding heavily and winded. Chief Medical Dwarf here, though, is not. This creature is heavily bleeding. I'm just gonna maybe actually tell them to stop doing this. Whew. Freeways needs to be rescued. Yeah. I'm gonna tell them to stop doing this. And then rescue the dwarves. And run them real quick to the hospital, like. Make a dropper? What is a dropper? I mean, if we're just talking about disposing of them, I could dispose of them. I mean, I could very easily, like, chuck them into here and then just crush them. That wouldn't be impossible. But I'd rather use them for something useful. Nah. The thing is, like, I don't want any of this to be, like, a permanent solution. What I need right now is I need this siege to go away. And the way I'm going to get this siege to go away is by unexisting them through time, so that I can actually just get some migrants. I don't really want to completely build my fortress around having this tiny population that I currently have, because it's not what I want from this fort at all. So, no, I'd rather not base my constructions entirely on these gimmicks currently. It's not really what I want this fortress to turn into. Although, I will ideally be able to heal these dwarves, which will be good. Manage work orders. I mean, the only reason I'm actually doing this is to empty out my cages, so I don't need to make too many more, but I'm just making more. What's up, Notakasa? How's things? You're giving stitches. You know what? Fuck it. They're undead, so probably never. Sieges only go away if they're not made by undead. And also they're a human siege, so... Okay. What if you build up a falling floor for those who try to siege your fortress? I mean, that could be an option, sure. There's plenty of different ways I could go about solving this problem. This is just the way I've decided to do it. Oopsies. That is, in fact, a way I could do it, yes. The thing is, I want this underground area where I'm currently sitting to kind of be the center of this fortress, basically. And I want the cavern to be open. So my end goal is to actually have my defenses in here. So what I could do is I could start building defenses in here, and then just say, welcome home to the baddies. I could do that. That is an option. Because I'm too worried about aesthetics, I guess, is the actual answer. But, like, I don't have a military really to fight them if I were to do that right now. So that would kind of not directly be suicide, but pretty close to it. If I were to do that at this point. Can I remind you how we're doing it right now? I'm slowly bringing them in and cage trapping them until I cage trap enough of them that the siege leaves. It's what I'm doing. The problem is they've started bringing things that aren't cage trappable. And they've been showing up in too large of an armies, so I may have to just do what I don't want to do, which is train up a bunch of dwarves that shouldn't be in the military, make them the best weapons I can make, and then send them out. I may just have to do that, which I kind of don't want to do. Especially because right now I don't really have much in the way of great military bars or weaponry. The question is where is the majority of the undead currently? There's also this other part, which is if enough of the undead get unexisted, then fortunately there we go. I will whoopsies. Iron, copper, platinum. If enough of the enemies start dropping stuff, they at the very least will get more materials that we can use. But let's make 2 steel bars, make 2 steel spears. Those things that aren't trappable. Necromancer creatures of any kind are not stealable by siegers, if that's what you're suggesting. At least I've never managed to steal them as livestock. Unless you're suggesting something I don't know about, Oliskin, which is unlikely. This is a 7x7, I think. Garfield fan. This is way bigger than a 4x4. Also, goblin sieges will go away after 6 to 8 months. Human sieges wait a year. Elves don't wait. They just attack you and will leave when they run out of ammo. And necromancer sieges, it's undetermined amount of time. Sometimes forever. You're just wondering aloud? Well, there isn't really a mechanic that you're looking for there, I guess. I wish I could, but that's sort of thing really isn't an option. Kind of fighting them either directly or indirectly is sort of my only option. I think I don't really want to do this because it's kind of cheap, but what I might do is just start making a glass industry and fight them with weapon traps. That may end up being my only option, really. I mean, there's sand everywhere. I can make a glass industry, Bone Dolphin. I don't know. How does it? It's different on every computer. I don't really get lag. And when I do, I just kind of pop out the location. This map is not that deep. So, and we don't have any cavern creatures, so it'll depend. I find that larger maps tend to stutter for me more than they lag. I will not say how well or how poorly it'll run because I don't know. I also will not say how well or poorly it'll run on your computer because I don't know. On my computer, bigger maps I find get this weird shudder where it like lurches occasionally, but that's about it. Do I have grades? No. The saddest dwarf on the list. Unlikely because he's already named. You can have the second saddest. Would you like the second saddest rat? Chief Medical Dwarf. Okay. You just want to die. I mean, that's okay. It's unfortunate. He sees others as selfish and conniving, and is very greedy. Generally acts impartially and is rarely moved to mercy. He is somewhat uncomfortable around those that appear unusual or live differently from himself, and he likes to keep his things practical without delving too deeply into the abstract. He doesn't mind wearing something special now and again, and he doesn't mind a little tumult and discord in day-to-day living, and is not particularly interested in what others think of him, scratches his ear when he's bored, and needs alcohol to get through the working day, dreams of raising a family, and personally doesn't care one way or another about art. He likes chromite, nickel, silver, and peridot, as well as the color red, purple, crutches, and the sound of the laces of silk. And the sight of the silkiness of festivals and when possible prefers to consume sorghum beer and donkey's milk. And elephant head amaranth and leaves and absolutely hates leeches. You want to acquire an object and pray. Well, here's to it. I mean, certainly not the strangest thing I've seen a dwarf like. A cup of donkey's milk in the morning. Guess it hits the spot just right. Rat over here like I can fix him. Now I'm more like Rat over here like I want Blind to be annoyed at my in-game avatar. I don't know. Either or works. Making some steel over here. Once we've made them steels, then, you know, we can go for the other things. Down here. Just gonna set everything right here to be dumped. Boulders and all, because I don't care. And, I never did assign this. No, that was for a cat. All right, so all this is gonna get dumped. Thrown into there. Eventually. When dwarves get over here. The other thing I need to do is I need to go here. I need to go later, standing orders, refuse and dumping. Yep. I have to gather outdoor refuse. Also making them wooden cages. I'm going to fly up to here and open this up. Also, it appears that a human pikeman made its way in here and got ripped to shreds. So now the question is, are there more coming? Here comes another one. So this does actually appear to be a decent way to deal with these for right now. We're also getting those cage traps put away. Why are human pikemen attacking? Well, they're zombies, for one thing. Why wouldn't they be attacking? Are they friendly with me or something, do you think? Do you think they would be friendly with me? Why would anybody attack a dwarven fortress ever? Well, that's because they're at war with them. It's usually the pretty straightforward response. Not sure how else to answer that question, I guess. I guess I'm just realizing with this fortress that very few people actually go to war with humans in Dwarfport. Because to me, like, humans are one of the first groups I go to war with usually. Okay, so you've got your spear, Ratosaurus. Getting these cage traps loaded. So they're either in the process of leaving, or there's more of them heading towards me. And I realize that that's a very non-statement, but I tend to not go to war with humans purely because their sieging method is quite annoying. Are you leaving? It looks like you're leaving. Maybe you're not. Dwarf just went and picked up a nice nifty hood with your cloak. You were keeping elves happy to trade for giant animals? There you go. I'm actually just going to go down here. Something I'm going to do. Some of you may judge me for this. I'm going to just make a bunch of cage traps down here. Because so many of them just have things in them. And I'm just going to huck them down into this lower cavern. Because this is a much more effective and efficient way of doing this. And then I'll just go through and deconstruct them after the fact. But yeah, literally all I need right now is migrants. That is the only thing I actually need. I need more dwarves in this fortress sooner than later is what we need. As soon as we get that, things will be much better for us. Are they chasing a guinea pig? There's a guinea pig right there. Stupid guinea pig. Could just send the military out to go fight them, but I don't really want to do that. I hate guinea pigs. Oh, so like don't pick fights and then you won't get attacked kind of deal? I mean, that's not an incorrect assumption. It's certainly not an incorrect assumption. What are you grabbing? We appear to be chucking corpses. All right, well, fuck it. Let's just see. Who can actually deal with them? I've done that before. Yeah, where you just like tell your dwarves, well, good luck, which is kind of what I'm doing right now, I guess. And then like some random monster hunter shows up who just happens to have enough combat skill that they win. That is kind of the optimal outcome there anyway. All right, well, wish these dwarves good luck, chat. Because if they don't start puking, they may have a chance. But we'll see. This dwarf must be in good spirits being above ground. Okay, so there's some zombies over here. Time to go learn the way of militia Dwarf. And by that, I mean defending the gazelle against the evil zombie onslaught. And this one. That's 2 down. And 3 down. All right, well, what invaders we have left? Okay, well, let's just type in monster. Okay, so that's good. It seems to just be the undead left. Meaning it's this one. Actually, let's just tell you to go stand here. I also think they got this. I mean, they are learning skills pretty quickly this way. Thankfully, they're not vomiting, which is also a huge boon to us. We're also up to midsummer, which means if we don't immediately get another siege, there is a chance we'll be able to... I'm sorry, what is in this? Got a cavey. What's in this? 2 gazelles, a gazelle and baby gazelle. Well, isn't that adorable? Dwarves, can we... The zombie can't really move any slower. There you go. There you go. Okay, so now we got one last undead on the map. Who happens to be... Oh, all the way the hell down here. And also on the wrong side of a very deep river. Actually, let's just tell them to go kill this. No, not all of you. Just you. Not just you, all of you, actually. There's a dead lungfish on that. What? I have several questions about what happened here. There's just like a zombie, a pile of gear, and then just like a lungfish corpse. Like, what exactly happened there? I'd love to know. Well, we got one more sieger to kill before the migrant wave is coming in, so here's hoping. To look to the caverns and then dig around the caverns and then bridge off the caverns you made and then open it later when you feel like you're ready for fun. I mean, yeah, that's not a bad timing or reason to do it. Did you just jump in there and kill a fish? Motherfucker, I think you did. We've still got a long ways to go. I'm just going to station them here. They're like, I can't get to this zombie, so I will just run away. Okay, well, fine. Keep leaving then, cowards. You know, considering it's a widely known fact that lungfish can fly, I'm much more concerned about lungfish flying than lungfish standing. If the lungfish wants to stand, honestly, that's defying less of the laws of nature than I'm immediately concerned with. Come on, dwarf. You got this. This is one of my very, very novice dwarves. And is now dying. Kazuli, why? Well. I was going to say, you're either going to become a very talented fighter or die very quickly. Rest in peace, Kazuli. Well, the siege is over, so somebody got it. They don't appear to have found that dwarf dead yet. There we go. Small price to pay, I think, for solving that problem, which is now over. So I'm going to go around on the surface and just claim everything. Except I'm going to jump back into here and just be like, yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Although I do have some beauty that I can maybe work with. I can't reclaim this. I can't reclaim that. But maybe I can do this. Wait, what? Oh, I see. It's because the burrow isn't considered here. I'm going to take a big risk right now. I'm going to try and build a wall right here. Oh, I see. This drawbridge is shut. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to take that risk right now. What I am going to do, however, is lock this door. We're going to dig in this side right here. That's something I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off these burrows, and I'm going to open this. Yeah, it's those bloody one-tile wide bridges, right? Error as old as time. So in here is this, which is a thing of unusual wax. I'm going to tell Freeways to stand in here. And Freeways is going to stand here until Freeways consumes that. And I'm going to keep constructing cage traps with things in them. And literally everything is just going to get thrown into the caves down below after I dump their stuff out of their inventories. Because first we're going to dump their stuff out of their inventories, and then we're going to throw them into the caves. That's how this is going to go. So hopefully it goes well. Because if it doesn't, then, well, I'll be sad for a minute, and then we'll stop caring. So I'm going to disarm them, and then either use them as training, or, you know, other things. Oh, also, please don't do that. Just go train. Although, hey, you're going to go eat. Let's set this squad to completely off duty. Let's set a burrow. Right there. And Freeways, I'm going to try and tell you to go right here. Although I guess you're going to eat first. Yeah, we got a lot of undead problems to clean up. That's for sure. Are they not going to deconstruct this? I guess you're going to go drink instead, which, fair. Still have some gazelle cages? Oh yeah, no, I know. I mean, more than a few, but we'll worry about those a little later. Dwarf is hungry and thirsty. Man, this would be so convenient if you were just in there right now. This would be so convenient. Why can't you do what's convenient for me at this exact moment in time, Dwarf? Why must you attend to your needs as you see fit? I'm trying to re-give you the ability to grasp and stand with a one-time use magical item. But instead, you're just going to go all the way over here. Also, that's a porcelain amulet from my previous fort. Also, it looks like they deconstructed it, so that's good. Which does give us access to more random items up here, including some sandals. Actually, let's not do that. Let's instead go... How much of this is claimable? It is. All right, so I can unforbid this and remove that. And let's claim everything that's in here right now, including the masks. That's fine. This is our home now. And I'm going to get you to not station there. You're going to go station over here, actually. Because there's unusual wax in there. There's odd goo amongst various other things. As we slowly start to deconstruct this thing. I really like this very slow, partial takeover of this tower. I think it's pretty badass, actually. Although first we have to wait for this dwarf to deal with this. I'm really tempted to just teleport this fucking dwarf into that room and be like, "You're locked in here now, bitch! Eat! And drink!" It's fine. Come here. Because this dwarf is just going to take forever to actually get to where they need to be. So you know what I'm going to do? Actually, is I'm going to go to... Where is it? Right here. And I'm not going to delete that, but I am going to lock both of these doors. So they can't throw anything into there. Then I'm going to go up to here. And I'm going to go over to here. And I'm going to set this to be dumped. And I'm going to go to Bambool's bedroom. Which I'm not entirely sure where it is. Right there. Okay. And I'm going to say, actually, no, I've got even better. Get rid of this, move one tile up, and dump it in there. I'm actually just going to go through and pause all of these construction tasks. At least things that aren't currently critical. And you are currently thirsty, actually. So what I should be throwing in there is the odd goo. Not this one. Now let's see. Is somebody dumping an item? No. Now we wait. Because turns out there's a lot of... Uh-oh. Unrelated tasks. It also makes me wonder if I dumped this out and into a well. I think I'm going to try this. I think I'm going to try and make a well out of this sucker and see if I can make it work. Because could you imagine if we had water that could heal everybody? I am going to try this. Because I can dump it. And I have a feeling that they can complete that task. Let's just do the tomb. Let's follow the dwarf on the tomb job. Man, you're moving slowly. That dwarf must be heavy. It is actually pretty heavy. You're not even on a crutch. That or you're very weak. I can't tell you if it would work like a contaminant in snow. Because, what's the word? This is a very hot map, so nothing will freeze. And if nothing freezes, then I can't test if it'll work like snow. It's too many random store item tasks. I mean, right now I just need to make sure I'm not killing that dwarf, so... Because so many random items are getting claimed. An ad break's about to happen. When the ad break comes through, I am gonna real quick go take a toilet break. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things that like I can't test in this map, like to do with contaminants and snow, because like frozen piles is a unique mechanic, and this isn't the right type of area for that. So I can't actually tell you. There are more meanings CF pouring into the cistern. That's what I'm gonna try and do. I mean, I can't tell them to pour thing into thing. I don't think I can, you know, set a I don't think setting it like a pit pond is gonna do anything either, because they're not gonna consider it a liquid to take from, because that mechanic doesn't work that way. But what I can do is, ideally. Oh. I wasn't expecting you to be so understanding about this. All right, well, let's unforbid this and unforbid this. And cancel this task. Maybe ask you to update gear, if possible. And now we sit here until this dwarf gets hungry. I will be back in a moment, because we're now in an ad break. So, BRB. We'll unpause when the ad is done. And see what happens. Your videos got you into Caves of Cud, and you have recently been playing nonstop. Dwarf Fortress is more or less difficult to get into. Difficult, but a different kind of difficult. Obtuse is what I would say. I'm going to take a toilet break. Be right back. I think it's also worth noting as well that this isn't exactly representative of most forts in Dwarf Fortress. This is a pretty obtuse and weird, also like hacky fort, because I did use hacks to settle where I've settled. So I have access to some things I shouldn't likely actually have access to in the ways that I do, but this dwarf here, I've locked them in here because there is this and this. This is magical food that will heal you. This is magical drink that will heal you. This dwarf is debilitatedly injured. Meaning they can't stand, they can't move, they can't do, well, they can't hold things, they can't grasp things, they can't stand, and they have sensory and motor nerve damage. This dwarf was in my previous fort, and became a legendary hammer dwarf. In fact, they have a kill from my previous fort. They are a very talented dwarf, but admittedly not in the, you know, best mental and physical spirits. So I'm hoping that if I lock them in here and they get thirsty or hungry, they will go grab this. Problem is there's like bodies everywhere, so it's kind of disturbing for them. So with a little bit of luck, well, we healed dwarf in a little bit. Otherwise, we're just going to have a sad dwarf. Speaking of healed dwarf, I also need to go here and get rid of this. And go back down here and unget rid of these. I feel like I need to witness this happen. Oh no, why are you meeting attend? Oh, this is going to be bad for this dwarf. Yeah, I mean, so Caves of Cut is an open world RPG. Dwarf Fortress is very much a sandbox. So, like, when you ask how difficult are they, it's like they're both difficult games, but for very different reasons. And if you play enough Dwarf Fortress, kind of like something like Kerbal, it stops being difficult. It just becomes okay, how do I contort the rules here? You know? I mean, Caves of Cut has a little bit of that too, but Caves of Cut is also, doesn't really matter how good at it you get. Sometimes you will just get fucked. And this game has less of that, but still some of that. Like, not none of that. So, this dwarf really wants to attend a meeting, but I'm not letting them because I want you to get hungry and consume either that or that. Although what I can do is I can make an office right here and assign that to the, I think Havoc would be the one. I could also put that there. What else can I do? I can make a meeting hall right here. A caravan has arrived. Yay! We get to trade with the mountain home, which is great news. I don't even know if you'll be able to have the meeting like this, but we'll try. I mean, the fact that you know that the 6-day silt exists means that you've played more than a lot of people did back in the day with CUD. Let's try just making a dining hall here for you. No. Let's see, who are you trying to conduct a meeting with? Nobody, currently. It's like, I get that you just really want to attend this meeting. But you see, you're kind of my science experiment right now. Yeah, I mean, I love Caves of Cud, but Caves of Cud, I think forever for me is going to be a binge play game where I play a shit ton of it in a short period of time and then kind of forget that it exists for 6 months. And I don't have the itch currently. Like, I played a bunch of that game right before launch and right around launch. And I'll be honest, it was a great time, but I've had my fill for a bit, I think. Dwarf Fortress is a game that I can just kind of play indefinitely, whereas Caves of Cud tires me out at points. If you're wondering why I'm selling these, it's because they're too big for my dwarves to wear, and might as well sell them because they've got value. That's a very heavily damaged iron helm. Something got clocked in the head real hard with that. A lot of dents. Alrighty here, McDorphins. Here comes the traders. And Fish Cape Grind. That's the most RuneScape name I've read in a minute. Thank you very much for that Prime subscription. One of us. One of us. Hey, chat, can I get a round of beers for Fish Cape? Did you ever get that Fish Cape? or is this like a current thing? You're currently on the Fish Cape grind, and then you'll be on the monster slaying grind, or the tree cutting grind, or the orange grind. You put in like 150 hours as soon as you picked it up. What, CUD? Yeah. It's this bloody attend a meeting mechanic. All right, let's just try this. I don't want this dwarf to go nuts, so Oh my god. I'm gonna see if I can pull this lever real quick. I'm just gonna try and lock this dwarf out. Wish me luck. It's like, no, you get back inside. No drinky. You're supposed to become one with the baddie gun. Yeah, that. I don't even know what that sentence means. Now, turn around and go drink that mysterious potion. Please. Please. Excellent. I'm literally breaking my trading right now for you, so don't you screw this up. Don't go north. Oh, fucker's gone north. I give up. Like, you know, if he just wants to be a big dingus and not get healed and do it this way, then who am I to stop him, I suppose? I don't know what to say, chat. Word. Last time I played RuneScape was, what, 2009? It was around the time I burnt out on RuneScape, so it's been a while. I was streaming Dwarf Fortress before the Steam release. I've been actively streaming Dwarf Fort since about 2018. You've said like 3 things. How is that spamming? Spamming would be like rapid firing the same emote in repeatedly. I like that this dwarf is just going to go drink some awful water or something. All right, well, can't stop you from being a silly, so I'll let you go be a silly. Oh, that's lovely. Human corpse left foot. I did tell them to bring me sheep and llama. I suppose they took me very literally. Cuddle, the gem setter, withdraws from society. Well, that's cool. That's nifty.
This is madness. Madness.
Yeet. How you doing, hobo? How's things, man? Well, on the bright side, I now have a whole bunch of livestock. Might as well also put the gazelles there, but I will eat them. How you doing, hobo? How's things? The spiritual successor, Wait, somebody's making a new Patapon? Huh. Havoc II meets with the Outpost Liaison, and they say there's much to share. And I'm gonna say, well, you brought me all the llamas I'll ever need, so, how about you bring me, how about you bring me steel anvils? And they want plants and meat. Okay. I'm about to get blasted by the sun. I can feel it coming on. All right. Beta's pretty good right now. Oh, that's good. Always love to see a Kickstarter project come together. I've got a singular porcelain amulet. I wonder how much my prepared foods are. Maybe I don't have any prepared meals currently. They probably ate them all. Let's start making some more. Well, ideally, I'll be able to trade for some more of this stuff. Let's see if I can buy 2 of these. Nope. Okay. 1 it is then. Yay! Some more migrants have arrived. That's exactly what I need is extra hands to help me put all this crap away. We've got Tomas, who I thought was holding a crutch for a second there. Onul. Ah, so dad and his 2 kids. Some other dwarf who's not been in my previous forts, probably for the best. A novice hammer dwarf. Dreams of creating a great work of art. Alrighty. You're a proficient armor user. Dreams of creating a great work of art. Poor memory, not creative. Intemperate, thoughtless, good spatial sense. She could be considered rude. Tends to have she is brave in the face of imminent danger. All right, Olan, get into the military. It's all on off for me. What about you? You're a butcher. Butcher by trade. Dreams of crafting masterwork. Carry on, Dwarf. This is the highest population I've had in this fort yet, and I'm so happy. Dwarves are arriving. He is interested only in facts in the real world. And is greatly pleased by his own looks and accomplishments. Doesn't mind wearing something special now and again, does not often feel lustful, dislikes the natural world. Tends to be a little tight with resources when working on projects. Fact-oriented, values power, good with language. What a good dwarf. Vain, though. What makes you say that shit about to hit the fan? Yeah, that does look like Patapon. I think I've seen this, actually. Maybe gifs of it. I guess I never clocked it as a Patapon alike, but... I never played Patapon, I just am familiar with Patapon, so... Pictures of aquarius skeletons. I need to butcher something. Well, I'll just butcher those 2. It's fine. Let's just leave the game unpaused. So I just don't have timestamps enabled right now for some reason. I was just looking at Twitch chat and like, oh, it looks weird. There we go. I now have timestamps again. UTC or otherwise, I'd rather have some timestamps than no timestamps. We're full of Patapon doodles. Yeah, that was me, and I think the last game I really doodled heavily was various platformers. Around the era where I was playing a lot of Super Nintendo games at my grandma's house, I remember drawing platformer levels and having quite a bit of fun with that. That's about as far as I got into those sorts of things. Okay, so now you're going to go station. Chat, I need you to do me a huge favor. Cross your fingers. And toes. And maybe a round of beers. Jump up and down. Do whatever you do that gives good luck to somebody at a distance. Because I need this dwarf to go station in that place so I can lock the door. I need you to go station next to all the bodies, the viscera, and the blood and the dead things so that I can lock the door. Because then I'm hoping that you, Freeways, will go nom on the mysterious goo that happens to be in that tower. And once you do that, ideally, If nothing goes wrong, it should heal him. And then he'll be able to stand. He won't be happy. He'll still be pissed, but at least he'll be able to stand. Dwarf, you don't understand how much I'm trying to help you. Also, you do not understand how lucky you are that there isn't an angry, like, honey badger running around outside. Otherwise, you might be losing a finger. I need you to not go into the fort. I need you to go into the mysterious palace and consume the... what? There's wax missing. Someone must have eaten it. Well. I must have forgotten to re-forbid it. No! Why are you going to sleep? Okay. I'm going to try and do this. Be mean for a second. Just quick. Be quick. Be quick. Come on, dwarves. Lock him. Fine. I will place a door there. And this dwarf is going to be the death of me. All right, and then you right here, that just cancels all the additional trade goods. And now we wait. I feel so bad for this dwarf. But in order for me to actually solve your lifetime of issues, I do unironically need you to work with me here and not go sleep in your bed. Uh-oh. I don't know where this bloke came from, but there's a wild Dur running around, which is scaring everybody. So I'm going to have to tell my military to go kill it. Dur, for those of you who don't know, is a large feathered worm who's currently getting splatted by Foxrot, who tried twice and is now complaining that his arm is hurting, so he's stopping. But it... Oh, wait, no, never mind. He killed it. I won't ever get used to creatures not... How do I put this? Turning sideways when they die. All right, well, let's continue following lazy McDorphins. I'm not going to use the trash trick because there's 2 trillion hauling jobs that need to take place first. So I would literally need to go through and pause every single job, redo my trash setup. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to wait until this dwarf goes upstairs and then I'm going to lock the door. The thing is, there's so many. I assigned knights and dogs to the pen. Did I? Oh, is that why that's happening? Oh, you're not wrong. Well. Where's the knight's dog? I like how you tell me this now. Like, you confuse me and then don't give me a direct answer. I mean, come on. Also, shit's about to hit the fan hardly. Why didn't you just tell me that to begin with, Dolphin? Any military dwarves? Not any good ones. I mean, if you insist on wanting to be the most requested thing in the fort, before I've even built a military, mate, I can't help you. Like, literally, I cannot help you. That's all. That is all. I really don't have a legitimate or easy way of doing that for you. Because there are some dwarves in the military, but they're all going to be removed from the military, most likely. They're all there temporarily and were chucked in. But what are your options? I mean, I do have some dwarves in the military, just none of them are any good. I've got dwarves. What kind of dwarf would you like? I could give you one of the military dwarves, but the two that aren't named are going to be removed probably in the next couple of minutes. I'm not going to go through right now and do that because I need this fortress to get cleaned up and unfucked. So what job would you like? Approximately. A fisher dwarf. All right, which one would you like? I have two. They're in the middle of the screen. Which one would you like? Adil? Okay. Adil, do it. Twitch says you'd like this game? Huh! You know, it's sort of like when Steam recommends a game based on other games that you've played, and they're nothing like the other games you've played. It's like, what's similar? It's like when Dwarf or like when Steam tries to recommend, like, I can't even remember the name of it now. Any of those open world survival crafting games, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. He is interested in only facts about real world and is greatly pleased by his own looks and accomplishments. He, like me, wishes chat was more conversational and is confident in his skills in situation. I literally said that because I was staring at chat and not the game and just braining out loud. He's extremely confident in situations requiring his skills and thinks that he's fairly important in the grand scheme of things. He's also leading a guinea pig, which is amusing. Personally, is utterly disgusted by guile and cunning, respects power, and values a harmonious existence. I could probably put this dwarf in the military, likes Periclus and tin, as well as Goshenite and sloth bear leather, coral the color cerulean, and when possible prefers to consume glass eye, dwarven beer, and llama's milk. I should milk some llamas, as I have them now. Although you are a competent weaponsmith. He's moved by art and natural beauty and troubled by this since he just likes the natural world. I could check you in the military if you want to be in the military. Hi, being conversational. I'm blind. How you doing, Pandemonium? But yeah, I could put that dwarf in the military. Here's hoping you actually get some time to train. Yeah. Everybody except for you. You know what's funny? They didn't even, me unassigning them fix the problem of that dwarf being assigned. Or of that, those creatures being assigned to the pasture. I don't even know how that got suspended, but let's unsuspend it. I'm trying to force this creature to go heal himself. Hello, Zavi. Doing all right. Yourself? Grinding out some homework? Well, best of luck with that homework. Hopefully you can get it done in a solid amount of time. Poor fella. Tends to happen like that, you know? It's probably for the best, though. Their namesake leader did get a really nice tomb. I will say that. After being forced to endure the decay of a spouse. Well, I did get your spouse buried, so... Okay, this is kind of funny. This dwarf had a daughter who died, named Stodir. And while they don't have a daughter anymore, their only friend is the other kid in the fort. That is grim. Like, real grim, man. That and his wife is dead. So, you know, he's having a great time here. I feel like every time we've spoken in the past, what's the word? In the past, like, maybe week, Zavi, you've either just finished an impromptu Magic the Gathering, or you've just left an impromptu Magic the Gathering. That's why he's naked. Is because he has no use of any of his limbs. Because he has no use of any of his limbs, well, there's nothing he can do. He's literally incapable of doing anything except for feeling sad for himself, I guess. But now he's locked in here. So if he gets hungry or thirsty, he should consume from one of those pots. But he's naked because he can't equip new clothing, because he's got no usage of his hands. Also, YouTube chat's crying. Come on, Dwarf. I know you don't feel anything about the goblins' dead bodies. That shouldn't be an issue. There's 46 iron blow darts in that. We're in an ad break. Randomly 3 to 4 times a week. So literally more days a week than I stream most weeks. That's a lot. Like 3 to 4 times a week for anything is a lot. I barely even like go outside 3 to 4 times a week. Some weeks. Depending on how much I'm working. Like that's more frequently than I grocery shop. That's more frequently than I buy coffee. That's more frequently than I nap for sure. I mean, I barely ever nap. Also, I just got a really cool DM from somebody. Much excite. But it specifically says for me only to see and not to share, so I can't tell you what it is, chat. I'm sorry. But I can say that it's a cool thing that I'm excited about that I also can't tell you about, so. You know. You need 2 days notice before you go to do something? Yeah. Can somebody gift Sage Bitey a sub and help them out? Please. Is it DF related? I can't tell you. I just said it's cool and I'm excited about it, but I can't tell you. If I could tell you, I would tell you, but I can't. So guessing is just going to get me stating that repeatedly again and again and again. I can't tell you. I wish I could, but I can't. Okay, so now you're going to go eat. Which is exactly what we want to see. Now we're talking. Look at that. Dwarf here now has no more health problems. Ain't that lovely? I mean, he still hates his life, but that's besides the point. So this dwarf, who used to be missing teeth and was incapable of standing or equipping things, no longer has any physical health issues. Since chat doesn't want to do it, I'm gonna have to make take matters into my own Dwarf. Have to be able to hear from the kitchen when you go get a snack. Yeah, there you go. Also, what a badass looking Dwarf now. He's even got the psychopath mask. What else did you just go equip? Bronze mail shirt? Nice. And I've discovered a downward passage. Hey, chat, can I get a round of beers for the mysterious, generous individual who gifted a sub to Sage Bitey in the chat? Oh no, Dwarf was stricken by melancholy. But, oh. Huh. Well, I require the squads to go and explore down below a little bit. That's what we require. Yeah, I should give him... I should give this dwarf a something. I don't know if I'll give them a custom shrine, but... I should actually just make a temple, because this fortress doesn't have any temples right now. I've been very much just skimming by for a while with this. With this fortress, so... I may actually just block this entrance. Oh. We've got Cinnabar as well as Jet down here. More tetrahedrite. Ooh. Well, that's deep. Holy shit. Oh my god. Never mind. We're not going to block that off. That is cool as hell. Oh my god. Holy fuck. Dude. What a cool thing. Water slide? Sure, sorta. Certainly not safe, that much is known. What's my favorite beer type of choice? It changes based on the season. I like lighter beers in the summer and darker beers in the winter. These days I tend to gravitate towards like pilsners and stouts. But I like a good pilsner. Or a Kolsch. Oh man, I should do something with this. Nice hole. Thanks, Clockwork Dragon. Well, I mean, you need a lot of broken parts to make a nice hole, you know what I'm saying? I might just dig right about here. Let's make that a little bit more direct. And also, now that we're into here, it's more tetrahedrite. I'm just going to go up to here and just, like, automate all of this tetrahedrite. Same with the sardonyx. Oh shit, lignite. I'll take that out too. Actually, kind of a lot of lignite. What a handy little thing. That you don't have very many good ones that you've had? I think the US is a very big country. And there's always time to find new things that you didn't know that you liked. Or to find a good variety of a thing that you didn't know that you liked. It's not a bad little squad currently. Although, skimming through you... This dwarf isn't a good fit, potentially. Although, we'll wait a little bit, see how you do. How about you? How are you doing currently? You dream of, so you, I'm going to boot out of the military. You, I'm also going to boot out of the military. I do have some legendary fighters showing up, so I'm just going to presume that these ones are from my old fort. Olan, I just removed you, so I'll boot you out again. But this dwarf, I'm presuming, based on your... Yeah, no, you're definitely from my previous fort. Well, welcome to the military once again. But they went bust. I mean, every single... Well, maybe not everyone. A lot of my favorite breweries went bankrupt for one reason or another. And I find that, at least here, a lot of the time, the reason they end up going bankrupt is because they... Well, not going bankrupt. It's because they tend to sell to big macro brews, and then they get shut down. There was one that used to be really close to where I live now, which went bankrupt maybe a year ago now. And they went bankrupt because they got shut down because they sold. Basically, it became a macro brew, stopped being a microbrewery. Let's just get this pulled. Thunk. Bang. We just need to wait for somebody else to come over here and pull it again. Okay, so I'm making some pretty decent progress here. Something I'm going to try and do is I'm going to build a raising drawbridge right here. I'm going to be fancy, make it out of gold. Up here, I need to go all the way across with jet. Need to go across here with jet. And then we're going to do this wall right here. Jet. And that's going to go all the way over to there eventually, but we'll wait until the floors are done being built. Then this is going to end up being a proper entryway, so we can fight down here. So when I need to fight the enemy, instead of me just going, well, time to fight the enemy, we're going to actually try and fight them properly. And by properly, I mean with either some sort of mechanical contraption or be that a alternative means. I've got so many cages. Okay, so you. And then you. There we go. We also need to start shearing these, hopefully semi-regularly. I just want to start actually building this fortress, but I can't really do it until we've cleared a bunch of other things. All right, so these dwarves, they need a break. Let's just keep them on no orders. And let them go do other things. And I need to make a temple. That is, or rather, should have been a higher priority, but hasn't been. Chat, temple on this layer, lower layer, or this layer, upper layer. Lower, upper, lower, upper. Where do I put temple? I mean, Have I ever tried it? No. I try to not let things that burn infinitely burn because they produce smoke. So if I were to set up a hallway with a bunch of stuff that produces smoke, it would just block pathing. Like, I'm not sure how I would set up a effective trap with that. I'm sure there's probably a way to do it, but... I'm not positive how I would do it. Like, that's not to say that there isn't a way, but... It would probably... Like, I guess you'd have to have, like, a huge stockpile full of it and then set it on fire somehow. Which... Not particularly straightforward, but, I mean, if you could make it work, that seems pretty dramatic. Good question, Greg, and then some. Like, pouring lava on things does not necessarily set it on fire. So I honestly, I don't have a good answer for you. I wish I did, but I really don't. Pointing a dragon, sure, but like the fun thing is pouring lava on things doesn't necessarily set it on fire. Although it probably would with lignite, but... So lignite burns for 1 year, not forever, just for 1 year. Kind of interesting little factoid is that books do burn forever. So if you're able to set a book on fire, those will burn forever. You don't know if the beginning will be fun? What do you mean, if the beginning will be fun? My games last as long as I want them to. Sometimes they end very suddenly, unexpectedly, but usually, like, because I've played this game for so long, like, I can just kind of keep a save running perpetually, if I put my mind to it. So usually until I get bored. Your cavern is exactly where your first cavern is. World Gen varies wildly with the layer that it's going to be at. Genose Streety. First 5 years is best. Some people prefer early game, some people prefer late game. Audiences tend to prefer early game forts, which is why I put new fort in the title, because this is only the second day I played this fort. Because some people, like, say that I'm being mean to my audience when I say this, but it's literally a statistical fact. Like 2 times as many of you people tune in when I play a new fort. Like, my stats almost double some days. They've been kind of quiet today on Twitch, and usually, well, I have some guesses as to why that is. But generally, if I'm playing a new fort, or if I've just recently started playing a new fort, way more people tune in. You like watching the expanding early game part? I mean, like, expanding in the early game or expanding in the late game, there's a lot of like stuff that you can do in Dwarf Fortress that's like expansion, I guess. And I do that in late game too. It's just people get bored of mega projects, I think, is just the reality. I'm pretty sure people just get bored of mega projects, and it's just that simple. People don't like watching endgame stuff, basically. Or they stop watching endgame stuff sooner than they... would with non-endgame stuff. Yeah, Stone... or, Clino's correct here. Alana, thank you very much for the raid. What's up? Welcome, Raiders. Hey, chat, if you guys don't know who Alana is, plays a variety of video games. Maybe you can convince her to play more Dwarf Fort. I don't know what you're up to today, but welcome, Raiders. Hello. Pinoy Boy. Black Keeper. Hello. Knit Play. Black Sparrow. Not to be confused with Jack, I presume. Fireland. Blue Squid, I know you. Hello. Darl as well. Hey, chat, can I get a round of beers from the Raiders? Don't drown them. Mods, if you happen to be lurking, can I get a shout out for Alana? Please and thank you. We're playing Dwarf Fort, and sometimes chat lets me play other games. But today we're playing Dwarf Fort. And apparently I'm trying to pen pasture a gazelle fawn that isn't tame, so will not be pastured. Although that's probably a good way to train cardio, I would imagine. 2 Point Museum. I'm glad that Sega's letting them make those games. I just wish I liked them more. They're a bit too puzzly for me and not open enough, I guess. But I always like the way they look. So there is that. I'll say this, Salvador. If you're trying to get into Dwarf Fort, don't watch too many tutorials. Like, don't get me wrong, tutorials can absolutely be extremely useful while learning the game, but play, and then when you bump into something that's confusing or something that is lost on you, then go seek out a tutorial and repeat. So just play game, and then when you run into something that's perplexing or confusing, at that point, go and seek out a tutorial. And the reason I say to do it like that is you'll probably end up with a better experience in the longer term. You're fearful, so you'd be bad at this. I'm just going to get you to make an easy meal. 10 easy meals once a month, or 10 lavish meals once a month. Should be able to make soap. I should make a temple. Can't remember what chat asked for, so I'm just going to make a temple right. Yeah, screw it. I'll just build a construction over here. Yeah, the thing is, like, Dwarf Fortress is, like, happens to be in a genre that a lot of people now presume they understand the basics of, being that colony builders, right? Like, enough games now call themselves that or participate in that genre that a lot of people just go into a game like Dwarf Fortress presuming that they understand the basics. When the reality is, if you've never played Dwarf Fortress before, you've never played Dwarf Fortress before. And you probably don't know exactly what Dwarf Fortress is trying to do or how it's going to communicate that. And that's where the difficulty for Dwarf Fortress comes in, is just understanding what you're supposed to do and how the game wants you to do it. Because the game doesn't hold your hand at all in that way. I love that about it. I think that's one of its biggest strengths. But some people find it very frustrating. So I would just say kind of keep that in mind, I guess. You played for hundreds of hours before building your first minecart? Eh, you don't really need minecarts. Minecarts are an optional funsies thing. But that sounds about right, yeah. This is going to become a temple. I just need to get her constructed. And showed your baby sister some map footage of Blind playing Jupiter Hell, and she said, I don't like ARPGs. I like to think about my move. I don't like action RPGs. I like to think, oh, so she didn't like comprehend that it was a turn-based game. I believe that. I mean, that was one of the biggest problems that game had for marketing, was like convincing people it is what it is. Because from footage of it, everybody just assumes it's a real-time game. And not a turn-based game. Gold altar. Yeah, let's just make 2. I play it so fast. This is true. I did play that game fast. It's a game that's hard to play slow because of how smooth it is. I'll tell you this. This is the difference here, Salvador. Dwarf Fortress is complex, but it's not hard. Because you brought up RimWorld, I'll give you a bit of a comparison. RimWorld is a hard game. It tries to kill you. It goes out of its way to try to kill you. Because the only way that you can interact with RimWorld is by eventually getting a game over screen, either by taking off into space or completing one of the other objectives and getting credits. Dwarf Fortress doesn't have credits. So Dwarf Fortress isn't out to get you by default. I mean, it can. It can absolutely and will absolutely kill you. But one is a game that's tuned and designed to kill you. The other is a game that is expecting you to just poke its systems. And Dwarf Fortress is a game about poking its systems, not a game about being like, well, that's a fine base you've built there. Be a shame if people were to airdrop into it. Most fights in Dwarf Fortress, and I presume this will be the case even after the siege changes, can be avoided by simply locking the front door. Like, Dwarf Fortress is a really easy game when it comes to gameplay difficulty. It is a complicated game with the number of mechanics that it has and its verbiage. Those are what make Dwarf Fortress a complicated game. But playability-wise, once you get past the basic understanding of what the game is asking of you, it gets quite easy quite quickly. So that is the difference there and why I wouldn't be so worried about it. So then play it. Dwarf Fortress is a game about fucking up and learning. What about fights scares you? Sometimes the dwarves just fight. I know the feeling, Cat Pig. That was me a couple days ago. And unlike RimWorld, where losing is most definitely not fun, losing can be very fun in Dwarf Fortress. Because when your fortress falls, the world continues. And you can go make a new fortress in the same world. And if some of the dwarves survive, then you can play as the same faction, and you'll see even more of those dwarves. So you need to realize that Dwarf Fortress isn't expecting, nor is it asking you to succeed in every single thing you attempt. Because, you know, if shit really does truly hit the fan, you hit this button and you hit abandon or retire, and you start a new fortress in the same world, and you'll encounter the same people in the same groups. So really, what is there to lose? Not much as far as I'm concerned. That is such a tall wall. Holy shit. Rocket mechanisms, let's just say 30. People will talk about how all of these tools that are needed to play Dwarf Fortress, when in reality, all you actually got to do is play vanilla. And when a big threat shows up, crush him with a drawbridge. Also, this dwarf has been going insane for a while, so that one was to be expected. Unfortunate, but to be expected. I have a Amazon package to go pick up. I will be back momentarily. What's the difference between Steam DF Premium and Classic? One looks like this and is free. The other looks like this and is not free. Those are the differences. Those need to get deconstructed. And I need to make that tomb. And then these are slowly getting worked on. And I don't even know where my miners are. Oh, stuck is where they... Go figure. There we go. We'll dig you out. Gotta love when they dig themselves somewhere where they can't get out. Which they tend to do kind of a lot. Oh, there we go. They made it up. Got dwarves preparing lavish meals. Although I am going to ask them to stop cooking plump helmets. I would like those to be made into drinks instead. The folly of fuchsia surge brain roast. The ingredients are folly of fuchsia surge heart and minced prepared folly of fuchsia surge brain. So those weird dino things and the spider things appear to be butcherable and edible. So that's lovely. At least they attacked me with things that are edible. Let me tell you this. People put a lot of weight on the unreadability of ASCII. ASCII is exactly the same as playing Dwarf Fortress with graphics turned on. The only difference is you have to take a little bit longer to learn it. I played the game as an ASCII game before it was on Steam. I never used graphics packs. I used tile sets for the ASCII. But I never used sprite-based graphics until it released on Steam. Mostly because at the time it made the game laggier, and I didn't like that. So, when you take that into account, a lot of people just look at it and go, that's unreadable, that's impossible, it's hard. Why would you decide to play it like that? Because it's not actually any harder to play it like that. It just... you have to get used to looking at it, right? Like, this is exactly the same game with all of the same information and all of the same details. But it's just going to take you a little bit longer to get comfortable digesting this visually because it's busy. It is. But so's this. This is just more zoomed in, right? This is still pretty busy. It's just a matter of what do you prefer to look at. Do you prefer to look at ASCII? All right, then learn the ASCII version. It's also free. So why would some people choose to play that way? Well, if they have no money. No, I gave me gray hair with my genetics and my exhaustion levels. Dr. Phineas, thank you very much for the 57th month. Appreciate you. By the way, chat, can I get a round of beers for Dr. Phineas? That's a tier 3 sub and 57 months, and not one of you posted beers. I am greatly offended for your massive embarrassment to this structure that we have built over the last several years. Thank you. Appreciate you. Post beer when there's a resub. Yeah, that's why I'm expecting the longtime enjoyers of this channel to understand that that's what we do. And so when a resub comes through and I don't see no beer, I just... You need an ASCII version of the beer emoji? No, you don't. It's already in chat. There's many different ways to make the beer appear. Ironically, actually, there's a series of symbols that looks very similar to the beer sprite. That does work. But I'm not going to tell you what they are, because I honestly can't remember. It's been several years since I set those commands up. And let's also throw I should have a statue. Probably have more than one, actually. Nope, I only don't have any statues. Well, that's a shame. Are people upset with ASCII? No, someone was simply saying that, like, nobody ever really gets upset with ASCII. What? What do you mean by again? Strategy. No, I mean, every now and again I have people say things along the lines of, like, I don't know why you would learn the game that way. There's a lot of, like, constantly stated pre-presumed negative things that apparently people do that I've never really experienced, so. I've never encountered somebody who's upset with ASCII. Generally, they just don't tune into my stream if I happen to be playing a game that is ASCII. I've had people get upset and say that this game's ugly, but I don't know if that's... I don't think that's what you're referring to. Although those people are usually not people who actually want to watch the stream. Those people are usually just there because they think that they'll, I don't know, get a rise or something. They're just like, oh, this'll upset them. Game is ugly. Why would you play this? Banned. All right, so who's next? Dwarf Fortress's aesthetic has a charm. It certainly does. I mean, it's certainly not the highest fidelity, but it doesn't need to be. I'm upset with people who describe every single human emotion as upset because it means you're too terminally online and you need to log off of whatever the most recent social media platform you're on is. Even if that's Twitch. Stratager, I'm looking at you. You're upset? God damn it! Why? I do know that Stratager is terminally online, though. Someone pays Stratager to be online. Do I like grand strategies as in the genre? Not really. Find them a little boring. I mean, mechanically they're interesting, but I don't really stream them because the few times I've tried, I've been told that it's really, 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 really boring to watch. And I was like, well, that's fine because it was also really fucking boring to play. I don't know. I've never really found one that's grabbed me enough that I've wanted to put the time into playing it. Not that there's anything wrong with the genre, it's just, they've never grabbed me. Should be said you're off the clock right now? Ah, well, Fair enough. I'm just off my rocker, so it's not quite the same thing, but... Phineas, thanks for gifting a year's worth of subscription to Stratature. Congratulations, you've got a year's worth of Crypt Burr. I don't know what you're going to do with that information, but you have it now, so you're welcome. And thank you, Phineas. Appreciate you, man. Holy moly indeedly. I don't understand the question, Suede Hat in YouTube chat. Would you mind sharing more about what the Spirit of Dwarf Fortress is? It's a video game that some people enjoy and others don't. What? It was a funny name. Odin Abundance? Or not Odin Abundance, Rock Sauce? I named it Headpunch because I was like, I don't know, this faction is called the Tower of Clobbering. So Headpunch seemed fitting and also amusing. That was about where the thought process ended, to be honest. Spirit of Dwarf Fortress is when you don't memorialize your dead, then they appear in front of you as your sleep paralysis demon, and they go, "You know what you did!" And there you go. This dwarf has finally gotten to pray to their god. And now they're trying to tell jokes.
Yay, 2 years strong.
Better than 2 years weak. Thank you very much for the second whole year of subscription, Ranger Rick. 2 years. It's a long time. 24 months. You secretly want to punch slow-walking people in the back of the head? Slow-walking people I got nothing against. Slow-walking people who walk in a line and completely block the sidewalk do bother me, though. I wouldn't want to punch them in the head, though. Certain politicians, maybe. I saw a guy at the, there was a guy who was at the craft brewery that I hang out at sometimes a couple days ago, who was going on and on and on about working in politics because I happen to live in the provincial capital of where I live. And then, like seamlessly transitioned from talking about working in politics to wanting to punch JD Vance in the head. And, I spontaneously burst out laughing with no context. Just like at the other end of the bar, just like randomly just burst out laughing. It's like, word up! He's not alone. Yeah, he's like half the populace. Maybe more than half. Thought that was a normal reaction? Yeah! What's even funnier is this guy in specific was like in this part of town traveling because he works for the US government. But I won't say too much more than that. I just thought it was a funny conversation to end up in the middle of all of a sudden. Also, I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to remove this. I'm going to make these into dining halls. Also, there's no roof on this, by the way. It's just kind of like an open ceiling situation. And this dining hall is going to be connected to that. So this dining hall is part of the praying space. Hopefully that'll begin to help increase moods a little bit. I presume I got more dwarves than beds. I do. All right, well, let's deconstruct this. Deconstruct this. And then we'll just start doing this. That's not the tool I wanted. This is the tool I wanted. And I wish I could just drag and drop on the tower cap, but I literally can't. So instead, we're just going to go over here and hack down some more.
Crypt beer, crypt lurk.
Cyrolac, thanks for the beer and the lurk and the 53rd month. Appreciate you greatly, dude. Man, I'll have you know, at least weasels have, like, self-respect, okay? Also, what kind of weasels are you interacting with on a frequent basis that are slimy? I think you're confusing weasels and snails. Slight possibility. Have you thought that maybe that weasel might, like, need a vet? Or if it's slimy, like, maybe it's got an infection. Sneasel. Sneasels is like a fake disease you get in a cartoon. What are you suffering from? Bad case of the sneasels. Oy. You said what you said? Noted. I'm not denying you said what you said. I'm just saying what you said is kind of funny. How many doors am I making? Oh. I'm apparently infinitely making doors. Well, that makes a lot of sense as to why there's so many doors in the fort. I mean, I guess it is, you know, part of the game's name, right? Oops. Yeah, I mean, the taxidermist probably knows a thing or two about slimy critters like weasels. I would presume. Okay, well, instead, let's just do this. You right here. Get rid of that. Go all the way along here. Do this. This is going to be a bit annoying to build, but it'll be fine. That is the wrong tool. All right. Let's start making some more bedrooms now. There's no such thing as enough doors. True, I could listen to the Doors for most of my life and probably not get bored. Can you say some stuff about liberal politicians without being banned? I mean, you can say whatever you want. But don't be an idiot, I guess. I having no idea of what you're going to say, I mean, you're probably not going to get banned. Is, I guess, the safest thing I can say. It depends on what you're going to say, I guess. This is the only way to respond. Am I going to test it today? I'm not convinced it's going to work. Because it's not really a contaminant. It's a physical item. So I've been thinking about it. Because I can't pour it, I could dump the item. But it's the same as, like, when you have liquid metal. It doesn't mix with water the same way blood would. So I don't even really have a context of how or whether or not it would work. Is the container considered closed? I mean, It's like this stuff. That's all I can really show you. I mean, like, I could test it with alcohol, but I can already tell you that. Hold on. Just getting blasted with sunlight again. There we go. So I don't think it's going to work, thinking about it. I haven't really said it out loud, but it would be neat if it worked, but outside of pouring it in adventure mode, I don't know how I would do that. I don't know what you're saying, Olixline. That is not the symbol I'm referring to, no. I did say it was a combination of symbols. Is there any stoneworkers or jewelers? Good question. I have Dodok the Stone Carver. I don't have any jewelers. There's probably some dwarves with jewel skills, but I don't have any dedicated jewelers. Whomst would you likest? Oof. I really need to give these dwarves a break. What are you doing? Planting seeds? You'll take a stone carver then. Stone carver. So Lady Stone Carver. If that works for you, we can roll with it. I'll say this. The beer emote works, the beer emojis works, and then a variety of different words that mean beer in different languages also work. And then there is a combination of symbols, and I would need to go look at my database to see what it was. That also works. G works. Got it. Ozanthhium. Just got a fancy veil on. She has dower as a rule, and she is conflicted by this, as she values parties and merrymaking in the abstract. She is swayed by emotional appeals and relies on the advice of others during decision-making. She tends to be a bit stubborn in changing her mind about things, and she has an active imagination. She has a tendency to consider abstractions over practical applications, and she is assertive, and she doesn't focus on material goods. She is curious and eager to learn, and she tends to hang on to grievances. She is not particularly interested in what others think of her and rolls her eyes when she's annoyed. She needs alcohol to get through the working day, doesn't really care about anything anymore, dreams of mastering a skill, and personally believes that peace is always preferable to war. This dwarf might not be bad in the military. Actually, probably would be okay in the military. Wants to fight and wants martial training. Can I put you in the military? Not on my keyboard. Maybe on yours, Bone Dolphin. I figured you used that because you, like, aren't subbed. I'm going to go here. And I'm going to get them training. You know, the actual easy way for me to resolve this issue, chat, would just be to add whatever beer mug you guys are talking about. But I can tell you right now that that is not what the thing is. That is not, in fact, it. You've not unlocked any secrets. I kind of want to make this a, like, traversable patio or something. Sure. That's why I said not on my keyboard. Plenty of keyboards have other symbols that are next to each other. Mine doesn't. So I'm a little bit at a loss for what to do at this exact moment, chat. There's just a shit ton of construction and stuff that needs to be done. It's pretty rare that this happens, but... Throw the bastards down the hole? Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. Although I think I should finish constructing this stuff up here first, because some of these dwarves are stuck because of it. Some of them are also falling asleep because of it, which is lovely. Probably got more cages to build, actually. Because I don't want to start assigning them until they're all constructed. Because if they're not, then I may be assigning ones that are, you know, going to cause problems. These are just a bunch of gazelles. What the heck is this? Why do you have a... Oh, it's a pool of human blood. Oh, lovely. I love that some of these zombies are just bleeding infinitely. Small cave-in, just for fun. What do you want me to cave in? What? That's a new one for me. Yoshir Road Blockade has been appointed to the position of sheriff. Are you here right now? And militia commander. And mayor. Is that one of my dwarves? No. So where's the flag of culmination? Who is the flag of culmination? Well, it's not news from here. I'm not seeing any locations that are claiming that news. So that's a thing. I'm gonna try and raid this place. But I'm just gonna try and steal stuff. Because I do actually have not a bad military, and sending them out might not be a bad idea. As long as they get back quickly. Never mind. Gonna cancel that mission like stat. Actually, I didn't fully assign them to it. But we are under attack. The dead walk. Forms twisted from their nature. What hope remains? Hey, chat, what hope remains? What do you think? Van Gogh, it's good to see you, man. What hope remains indeed. Dwarves, inside with thee. It was good timing there. I was just starting to get comfortable. So this needs to get closed. But primarily, this needs to get locked. I wish they would attack me head on and not from random directions like a bunch of cowards. What hope indeed? You know, I've never had a moment of hope in my life, so yeah, exactly. This dwarf over here reminded of wearing old clothing, but isn't currently wearing old clothing. Ah! The renowned Cosmos! So I'm about to get by an ad, so I'm going to let the ad play, but what a name, man. The renowned Cosmos, eh? What a name. How you been, Van Gogh? How's things? I hear that you've come back to Dwarf Fortress recently. Welcome back. It's okay, you didn't need that free time anyway. You know what's crazy? I've been streaming for 9 hours. Sorry, 8 hours, not 9 hours. So that's kind of nuts. I'm just going to wait for some ads to play. So, you may want to lower your volume because they are about to hit. But now we wait. Cashews? What kind of cashews? I had some cashews relatively recently, and they were delicious. I also had some, what are they called? Pistachios. And those were also delicious. I'm gonna try and fix my lighting. Hold up. I've kind of accepted that setting up my green screen setup and desk right next to a window, not the greatest for lighting. It's just not. But I'll be honest, I don't care because I like being next to a window. So you know what? God damn it. The lighting can look bad at certain times of the day, and I don't care. I mean, I do, but I'm telling myself that I don't care, so eventually I learn to not care. That's what I do for a living, Stratature. Other games don't exist. We know this. Come on. This is why the Dwarf Fortress is going to cause the next great games industry crash. It's because everybody's so busy playing Dwarf Fortress that no other video games can even get off the ground. But yes, I've been playing Dwarf Fortress for the entire stream. Your computer crashed when you got home from work and you started Iron Production. You reinstalled Windows and Dwarf Fortress, installing it on Steam. Even the Devi won't stop you. Oh, I mean, you can do it. You can do it. I don't know what the Devi is, but I mean, I'm presuming you mean the devil, but if anything, I would say the devil will probably encourage you. I'm going to deny this parlay. So I'm presuming they're just going to gun it to right here. Someone just murked that baby gazelle that I told them to murk. Yeah, they don't need no damn parlay. What do they think they are? Worthy of my items? I think not. Also, I may be able to send these dwarves to fight with the... Oh, the siege is over. Did they already kill him? I guess they did. Well then. You know what? Since we're here, I'm going to send my squads to right here. Or squad to right here. I mean, why in the world would you part with an earring? It's your earring. You made it. They don't have the right to it. So I'm sending the dwarves right here. With one very simple reason. We're going to try and remove the rest of these creatures from here. Wish me luck, because if I do it successfully, we'll get some pets. After this dwarf is finished putting that gazelle paw back to where it was previously, and the militia begins to line up. Do you have any health problems? Nope. You're a spear dwarf. You're a dabbling spear dwarf. You're a legendary spear dwarf. And you're taking a nap. Well, I mean, if you insist. Shall we begin? What do you think, chat? I mean, the way I've described Dwarf Fortress's world building for a very long time is it's sort of like the Nemesis system, but better. Because it's all about just having reoccurring characters. Why aren't y'all staying up there? It's not like this area is off limits. I think I may have just killed this dwarf. Foxrot, come on, you got this. Fighting off the 2. 3 of them even. Oh, I see why. It's because I was giving them multiple orders. Went into a martial trance, which may save him. Dwarves go into a martial trance when they are outnumbered. Spear Dwarf stabs the Goblin Axeman in the upper body with his steel spear, tearing the muscle and shattering the left false ribs and tearing the left lung. The Dwarf did receive some pretty brutal hits, however, is now crawling towards his final foe. And while vomiting all over the floor, he says, I have a part in this. This might require an answer. He strikes the spear. The flying bismuth bolt strikes him in the upper body, bruising the left lung through the mail shirt. And the dwarf jumps away. The rest of the militia is coming down to assist. And I'm going to lock you down here because you... Okay, never mind. You're tired and injured. You're going to need a rescue. Now, I'm going to send them into here. But do keep in mind, these animals are friendly. They are friendly. So it's just 1, 2, 3 goblins left that I need to kill. Send the squads in. And just like that, the Amethyst men have joined us. The fierce cavern saltwater crocodile is also joining us. And, down in here, there is no more aside from this. And, that's a bit of a problem, but we now have the ability to gain all of these animals as pets. So they have modifiers on them. So this is, you know, just, it's a grizzly bear, but it's a fierce cavern grizzly bear. You got these fierce cavern cougar and this singular saltwater crocodile. They are unique to this area. So there still is this person down here who's got the elemental stone spear. But at the same time, I now have some gem people. The first of the gem people, I'm going to make into my chief medical dwarf if it lets me. Never mind, it doesn't let me, so I lied. How about a bookkeeper? No, it doesn't let me. Does it let me manually assign them down here? Aha, it does. So I got an Amethyst Man Doctor and a Amethyst Man Diagnoser. Dr. Lightbright, basically. Got dwarves coming to recover wounded. What can we get from this place? Well, some things, but not too many things. Simply put, it's a location where I'm not supposed to be able to settle in Fortress mode. But using some cheats, I was able to settle here. And there's items that are useful. There's these tame animals that are useful, and a lot of threatening creatures as well. So let's see. Have they finished putting all of these suckers here? It kind of looks like it. So now we're going to start going, good luck to my dwarves. We're going to throw... Oh, actually, let's not do that just yet. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go garbage dump. Make a garbage dump right there. And I'm going to dump everything off of all these dudes. I'm also going to go down to here, and I'm just going to lock this door. Now, ideally, they will go in and grab all of the gear off of these guys and throw their stuff right there. Nothing respawns in Dwarf Fortress. Once something is destroyed, then it's destroyed, unless it's an artifact or a named item. But things don't respawn. But if you're talking about those pots, yeah, they do have healing materials in them. I healed a dwarf by locking them in there with it. This dwarf, Freeways, was incapable of walking. They had so many injuries, and I was able to fix them. I do wonder... if they'll actually do the task. I'm not positive that they will. Also, if I give you orderlies, will you... or hauling, will you go haul? I'm presuming not now. What if I give you mining? Sure as heck seems like they don't. Oh well. Diagnose clean patient. There we go. At least somebody's doing some work. You're hoping the zombies don't climb back up? Oh, they probably won't. I mean, if you're worried that they'll climb back up, I can make this much safer by doing that this way. They'll likely just fall, because by the time they realize where they've gone, they're already falling. I'm not concerned about that. It's pretty unlikely that things will grab onto the edge while it's falling anyway, and then they'll go, wee, splat, and then they'll just leave the map, most likely. I mean, I could be wrong. They could be much more violent than that, but... let's just start. Let's just start. We're also starting to get some of the items dumped here, but there's just too many. So now I need to go into the units list and just say, let's train all of these for war. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm also going to make a small animal training zone. Just going to go right there. I've also got a strange mood that's begun. I've claimed steel bars. What else do you need? Stacked cloth. Okay. Shining bars. Got it. Stacked cloth. Okay. Shining bars. Okay. Stacked cloth. All right. All right. So you probably need like some sort of cloth that I don't currently have. So I'm just going to, for sake of sanity, just go right here and then go Farmer's Workshop. Why must be so violent? What, to the dwarves? Because to the zombies? Like the dwarves being violent to the zombies? Because if I were to let the zombies live, then I'd have a very large collection of cages pretty soon. And I already have a collection of cages that's far too large. And I don't really want to have a very large collection of cages. So why must we be so violent? Because where the fuck else am I going to put them? Like, into cages? Because I only have so many cages, man. I only have so many cages. Also, it appears to be working because if you'll notice, some of these are already empty. And I certainly haven't been paying enough attention to see them get placed here. But let's keep at this. Let's throw maybe these two in. Got various items getting thrown there. Now we just need to wait just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. Now we just need to wait. Obviously, this pile of stuff is growing. Uh-oh. Did the flying copper bolt strikes you? Who the heck shot a bolt? Oh. Well, that's a little bit awkward. Hey, Dwarves, you want to go stab him in the head, please? Specifically this one. He's a little bit all up in the everything. Finally had one get away. As awkward as it is. Thankfully, the militia should be close-ish by, right? Right? Battery will just escape. I mean, honestly, worse things have happened. All right, on to the next one. As we continue to just, like, place everything into giant piles. And some migrants have arrived. Hallelujah. Dwarf Almighty. You know, it's funny, because every now and again I'll have one with wings, and I'll be like, oh, you're just going to fly away, and then they don't. They're like, you know what? Flying seems like effort. Why would I do that? We're up to 50 dwarves now, by the way. Scanning through the new arrivals. Not seeing anybody who's named, but that was a big migrant wave. And that is, in fact, what I've been waiting for. Is a really big migrant wave. So, yay. Big migrant wave ho. Let's also check the Strange Mood Dwarf. What kind of cloth am I missing? Ah, I'm literally missing exactly the one I thought I was. Weave yarn into cloth. There you go. So let's see. Do you go grab the yarn when it's done? I'm pretty sure that the Amethyst people are immortal. Twitch chat can confirm, or the wiki would confirm, but I'm mostly positive that they are an immortal being. My god. Look at that population climb. Chat, this fortress is finally in business. We can get tasks done at a reasonable pace, and I can't wait. Llama wool cloth and steel bars. Not bad. I'm going to make some yarn bags. Yarn bad. No, yarn good. And let's make 25 yarn bags. The warrior of something or other went splat. Good. As I should hope. So I would actually say that this is maybe a bit too effective. Although there is a zombie here who's currently killing this bear. So that's not great. Thankfully, the war bear is very enthusiastic. The problem is it's losing. All kinds of bits and pieces. So we gotta hope that the soldiers get here But the bear seems to have won. By one, I mean died. And now we've got another zombie going over the edge, I think. Maybe it didn't see it go over the edge. Maybe it too escaped. Not that I'm seeing it though, so I'm presuming it didn't. Here comes some more. Let's follow you. Where are you going? I thought I told you to throw them into the hole. Were you running away in fear from something? Certainly seems that way. Handle human corpse. What a task, man. Oh, I see. There's just straight up zombies down here. That's the problem. Well, let's just stand the dwarves right there. Because scary zombie is scary, and the dwarves don't like it much. So we'll just deal with these. And it appears that the weaponsmith has created Estra Dusurik Ugan Kazat, a menacing steel spike. Not bad, me like. And he offers it to the head cave of clobbering. They only die of unnatural causes? Right. Which means truck will work then. Great. This is a menacing steel spike. All craft ship is of the highest quality. This object menaces with spikes of steel. Shocker! It's a spike with extra spikes. It's here to spike the competition.
Legendary bird deterrent.
More like legendary people deterrent. There we go. Wise Pranker, thank you very much for the 12th month. That's a whole year. Welcome back, dude. Appreciate you greatly. Thank you for keeping that subscription alive. You know, this isn't how I planned to do this, but turns out it's actually decently-ish effective. It is injuring some of my dwarves, though. Such as the... Oh, no. Mountain Dew, what? Yeah, chat, don't look. You didn't see that. This dwarf's just taking a nap, though. I will say this is very effective, except for when dwarves, like, fail to actually put all the items away. That is a lot of random crap. He made the 7 spiked spike. Ah. This is like a Cat of Nine Tails, but Spike Edition. Spike TV Awards are really gonna... We're gonna, like, really care about this one. All right, let's go back to getting rid of things that don't matter. Oh, would you look at that? I have a bunch of different guild halls now demanded. Go figure. Is to be expected, really. Oh no! Okay, never mind. For a second I thought this dwarf was stuck in here. Now they're just sleeping. But up here... So many random get rid of item jobs. Can unforbid all these. And those. And this. And all of these now. Let's go up to here. Go to you. Add in 2 more woodcutters. Now we wait. Because I desperately need more bedrooms now. Turns out. I also need more beds. Looks like. Bed. Let's just make 50 of them. One dwarf will throw the zombie in the hole, and there's a brief conflict which will induce terror. Yeah, no, it's a pretty accurate guess. Whilst it's in midair, it spooks everybody else, so you kind of need to do them one at a time. I feel like I've encountered that before and like come to that realization and then just conveniently forget. Like, do you conveniently forget lessons you learn in video games while it's playing video games? Because I very conveniently forget a lot of useful information like that. And then kind of go, yeah, okay, now I remember why this was a bad idea. It's like, I had a bad feeling about this, and now I'm remembering why it was a bad feeling about this. Instead of just like, you know, a normal bad feeling. It was like a bad feeling. Instead of like, you know, just a normal bad feeling. Okay, so I need to make a farmer's guild, but also a temple to the sect of Amethyst. I feel like the farmer's guild should be around here somewhere. I really don't like all of these random workshops out here. So maybe the farmer's guild is like a layer down beneath the farm fields. So it's like the farm's basement kind of thing. This could be the farmer's guild. And I could do similar to that right there. I could have these popping up here. We can toss this sucker down into the back of here. So it could be like half of this, and then the other half will just be like Farmers Guild related workshops. I mean, that's kind of what I did just now, but I usually don't have so many things in cages, is like the reality here. Or I just like release them directly into the middle of my squads and just be like, have fun, motherfucker. Definitely do that sometimes. Often, even. Ah. The Forgotten Beast Megob has come. A great eyeless kestrel. It has large mandibles, and it undulates rhythmically. Beware its deadly speed. That shouldn't be too much of a problem, right? Right, squads? Right? Right? Right. Well, they're heading out. They're not happy about it, but they're heading out. Where's Beastie? It is a kestrel, so it can fly. It's just a kestrel. I mean, it's a kestrel with mandibles. Chat, do you think we're going to win? Yes or no? Press 1 if you think we're going to win. Press, I don't know, B if you think we're not going to win. Oh, no, I said B, but I like B's, so. There is a dwarf down here, and the dwarf go, ah! But, thankfully, back here, there's Snail, who is now shooting Spit. There's also Aerith, who's about to be Deadrith. Maybe not. Run, Aerith! Run! Oof. Wow, gaining all them dodging skills. Not only are you dabbling a dodger dwarf, you're also a dabbling axe dwarf. You're probably also about to miss this shot. Those dwarves who are all set to station are now going to be set to station here. You now drop your hatchet because running with the hatchet's a bad idea. Clearly. And here's Ezim, the blacksmith, who's about to be a flatsmith. All right. And now we continue to wait. Going, all right, where the military at? And the kestrel is going up my stairs. Why? We found the two dwarves dead, it appears. Where's my squads at? Not where I need them to be. Where is my squads at? Pretty far away. But getting closer. Forgotten Beast decided to go partially back up the... Ah! This dumbass the ranger came flying out, just like, wah! He's got a problem, but thankfully he's dodging. And here comes the... Okay. Militia, you have one job. Very simple. Stab this thing in the face. It is now bleeding, not the militia. And the legendary swords dwarf with a bronze spear dwarf, rather here, spearmaster. Zanang, the royal goal of culmination, is now battling with the creature, right alongside of Ozithum, who's wielding a steel morning star, and Ratosaurus, who's got a steel spear. The dwarves are definitely collecting with the creature, and expertly dodging. It's every attack. We're about to get hit by ads. I will pause the game when the ads start. They are expertly dodging it, which is exactly what you like to see. The creature's bleeding very heavily, and currently on the ground, the chief medical dwarf is actually kicking it. So I respect him for that. And also is stabbing the Forgotten Beast in the lower body with a steel spear, which is bruising the guts. And it is now winded. It's not quite unconscious. Did you just get the kill, Oz? Nope, but you did kill a death ghoul. How about you? Radosaurus didn't get it. How about you, Zulban? Zulban has gotten the kill by biting it and then scratching it. Wait. Yeah, some random lie maker. Well done. Zulban. That's impressive. Now, hopefully they come rescue you. Because, I mean, they're working on it. It's just going to take them a minute. Promote him to captain of the guard? Does he like the law, though? Then I'd have to make him an office and whatnot. Percy respects the skill development. She respects the development of skill. Sees life as unfair and doesn't mind it that way and finds artwork boring. She enjoys participating in physical competitions and works to spread natural tendency with her respect and martial prowess. She can be very happy and optimistic and feels envious of others and finds obligations confining, though she is conflicted by this for more than one reason. I don't think that she deserves to be a captain of the guard, mostly because I don't want to make a captain of the guard right now. But I'll put her in the military. After we tend to her injuries. No. Just now. No, this is just a right shoulder that's mangled. That can heal. And if it doesn't heal, well then we can heal that. I do, in fact, have a way of healing that. Without cheating. I've got some additional tombs to make. I will say 3. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, chat, but I don't make a captain of the guard until I either start getting tantrums or I feel that I need one. It's usually one of the last things I implement in my forts. With one of the first things that I implement being, basically everything else. You with me? Yeah, I don't know. I think people like seeing Captain of the Guard because they expect them to just run around and kill everything for no reason, which sometimes they do, but you need to actually have crimes that are actively being committed for that to happen. And we, don't even have a mayor yet. The game hasn't even appointed my mayor yet. So, because we only just hit 50 dwarves. So it's going to take a little bit more still before we end up in a position where I need a captain of the guard. And we're still ways off from that. It's just not that important. Well, then they don't mind if, crimes are going unpunished. So, if they don't care, or rather, if the dwarf faction culturally doesn't care about the law, then it's a non-issue. If they do culturally care about the law, then it might become like a behavioral issue. I unironically don't know how many dwarves I haven't memorialized now that I think about it. There are no basic prosthetics in Dwarf Fortress currently. You can regrow limbs with a lot of finagling, but there are no prosthetics in Dwarf Fortress. It'd be cool. Maybe one day. Certainly one of those requested features. But unfortunately, Captain Hook, Yurst Mickey, is not a current function of the game. Ambitious Dwarves. Yeah, we got the Morning Star from the Mysterious Palace. Speaking of the Mysterious Palace, I'm going to go into here and I'm going to unforbid some things. Okay. Similar to this copper longsword. But the fun thing is, not that one, not that one. There are Slade mechanisms down here. Which is fun, shall we say. I can also jump down to here. Deconstruct this lever. Deconstruct this lever. Go on top of this. Deconstruct the middle at the very least. Deconstruct this. And deconstruct that. Arm cannon prosthetic? I mean, only if it shoots lava. Actually, isn't that called just carry around a magma crab and hope for the best? It's like just point it at the enemy and be like, all right, buddy, it's you and me. Don't fuck this up. And you just squeeze it and see what happens. How can you help a mangled arm? With a splint. But you have to remember, a lot of wounds in Dwarf Fortress just straight up aren't curable, right? So it's not a matter of how do you deal with this or how do you do that. You don't. If the dwarves don't get to it quick enough and it doesn't heal properly, that's it in most cases. Sorry to put it that way, but that's just how it is. And many people, myself included, wish that were not the case, but it is. So there isn't much more I can say, really. Most injuries like that can't be healed. You have a good night, Catpig. Thanks for hanging out, dude. Still haven't elected a mayor yet. Yeah, I mean, ideally, sometime soon it will no longer be like that, right? Like, as much as it sucks currently, it's a mechanic that is on the roadmap for the near-ish future, so most of us are just excited that it's on the roadmap for the near-ish future. How important is it to have soap? Do you like dying of infections? I would say quite important, but I also don't have soap, so I should start making ash and then we can make soap. It's one of those things where it's like, you don't need soap, but if you take a while to finish tasks, soap very much lowers the odds that they will die of an infection. And like Nam said, that soap makes Dwarf happy, which is very true. So I love the fact that we have access to this lower cavern layer down here. But I just straight up haven't found the one in between, because there's another one. Which, I'm very amused by this. Okay, let's see. Can I butcher you? Well, I guess not. Oh, I waited too long. It's rotten. Rip. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different petitions to complete. But you know, I do have to say, we've made some great progress. I mean, genuinely. I mean, down here, this is going to become probably around half of this. Is going to become a farmer's area. So we'll throw in jet. I realize I'm going over top of the stairs. It's okay, I'll delete it. Don't panic. It's too late, I'm already panicking, but that's such is life. And then in here, we can do this. Big Bang, thank you very much for the 16th month.
Howdy blind. Hope stream has been going well.
It's been all right.
10 months.
No complaints. But yeah, chat is correct. Soap does indeed make Dwarf happy. And a happy dwarf is a long-lived dwarf. But chat, can I get a round of beers for our friend here keeping that sub alive for a 16th month? Video on cooked meals this morning was great. That was yesterday, but you're no longer in the Lurky Vault anymore. It's good to see you, Taylor. I mean, I like soap in real life too, so I don't limit myself to video game soap. And Celesty. So Celesty, I don't want to just tell you what you should have, but you do realize that we literally have amethyst men in this fort, right? I mean, they don't have gender. They are neither either or. They're just a brick, but they just can't do any tasks. From what I can tell. I do have them assigned as doctors, but they don't seem particularly interested. They're just kind of chilling. Pretty but not useful. Accurate. Correct. I've tried giving them tasks like... Yeah, I can't force them to do any other job. I could try make... Oh, you know what? Fuck it. Like, will that allow you to do jobs? Probably not, right? Suddenly everything has to be named. Big Bang wants to name themselves. Chat, yes or no? No. Okay. So would you like to be... Okay, hold on. You said you want somebody with gem skills. Do I have any ladies with gem skills? I don't. Not really. Okay, I'll give you a peasant then. And see if I can convince them to do some sort of gem cutting. I can spell. Amethyst is an optimist and does not often feel envious of others, has a calm demeanor and is interested in the company of others. Chat, do I give Big Bang a dwarf? You have to say yes or no. We're going back to this minigame now. God damn it. Enjoys the company of others and is not particularly interested in what others think of her. She rarely is enthusiastic, and she is conflicted by this, as she values parties and merrymaking in the abstract. She tends to share her own experiences and thoughts with others, and she is pleased by her own appearance and talents. She's quite ambitious, and she likes to keep things practical without delving too deeply into the abstract. She tends to make a small mess with her own possessions, and she tends to hang on to grievances, and she can handle stress, does not go out of her way to help others, and generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. Dreams of raising a family and personally values introspection. And dreams of raising a family. All right. So Big Bang becomes one of the amethysts. I will read that one afterwards, although I don't know if there will be much to read. She likes bismuth, bronze, brown jasper, crystal glass, giant cave toad leather, and short swords, slabs, and the words of the fortuitous pregnancy, and the sound of the euphoric butterfly, and the sight of the meandering lyrics, and when possible prefers to consume herbs, horse cheese, not herbs. I read that as herb cheese. Horse cheese, turnip wine, and can't stand mussels. She worships the god of death, is a member of the Ashen cult, which is a religion following the god of death. It's actually a pretty talented mace dwarf, has never been in any of my... nope, that's not true. Was, in fact, in one of my fortresses previously and felt hope after sharing personal insight with an acquaintance. That's interesting. But yeah, she's never been in my fortresses before, but she does have some combat skills, which is curious. As for Biggie Bangy, Bigu Bangu is you. Finds humor in most situations. He's often sad and dejected, and he has an overinflated sense of self-worth. He tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects and tends to form only tenuous emotional bonds with others. He doesn't handle stress well, and he tends to keep his things orderly. He doesn't often experience strong cravings or urges and doesn't focus on material goods. Isn't particularly ambitious. Has no values, has no preferences, has no needs, is 273 years old. If I click on this... I can't make you into a captain of the guard as much as I would like to. It's a shame. Can I make you into a messenger, maybe? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. And you... probably need to actually assign a specific animal trainer to these. If I have any maces, I may or may not have maces. She'll prioritize any maces if there are any. Down for here. It's going to take a little bit. Can I not make bismuth specific stuff? Or does it have to be bronze? Huh. I guess I have to use bismuth. Just going to queue up a gold statue real quick. Let's actually just check my weapons real quick. Does appear that we are running out of wearable stuff. You over here are going to start melting down items. And up here, I'm going to set all this to be melted. Because I got tons of stuff that needs to be melted. Tons of stuff. Truly. Let's make 3 platinum statues as well. And I'm going to encrust furniture with cut gems down here. Just kind of hoping they would use that statue, but hey. Nobody here's perfect. Down in here, I do have a platinum statue that I'm going to place. And that'll probably clear the value need for this pretty quickly. So that's one of many. And Laura over here seems to be doing the work to get it placed. Chat room, we've been live for almost 9 hours, and I have a Future of the Fortress video to work on. I think we're going to call it for the day. I think that's a good chunk of stream. I also didn't get a chance to write a blog post this weekend. I might take this week off because I've got some other things I got to get done, including finishing my taxes, which I have to get done not this weekend, but the following weekend. So that's a little anxiety-inducing. Heart's kind of pumping about that, but, you know, it'll be fine. How's the value on this? Excellent. So that should satisfy this. Keyword here is should. But we'll get some other statues up in here, and that should do it. But I do have to say, today's been fun. Did you enjoy the stream, chat? Did you have a good time? Twitch chat. Stick around. We're going to go raid somebody. Yeah, exactly. Gold poke 9. Yeah. Sorry if you only just tuned in. YouTube chat, however, I am shutting you down now. If you would like to see more Dwarf Fort, tune in tomorrow, because we'll be playing more of this. Yeah, I'm glad you were able to tune in, Big Bang. Also, a little bit of housekeeping. I will not be streaming this Friday, because I've got some things happening in the real life realm.